Today we want to talk about Tantra and human longevity. We want to know how through the practicing Tantra we can increase human lifespan. I would like to again remind you of this memory that I told you when I was 16 years old. The first ideology or philosophical idea that came to my mind, I developed it and become a part of who I was and who I am, was this idea that we as a humankind must be limitless. We are created by a great creator. There is a universal intellect, there is a universal love that wants the best for us, and that's why our destiny is not to live in limitation, in poorness, in loneliness, live with disease, aging, and etc. I developed this idea that because there is love, there is intellectual, there is a desire that already wanted the best for the creation, and that source, the creator, surely doesn't want suffering for its own creatures. Like a mother that gives birth to the children and the mother doesn't leave them alone. The mother also cares for them and lead them, direct them how to have a better life. Our universal mother also wants the same for us, and I was wondering that, so why people are living suffering disease, why they face aging, why they face loneliness, poorness, and such these things. And I felt that I want to overcome this. I was telling to myself in the last 27 years that I cannot accept this, I cannot digest this, and I want to go and find a reason. And I noticed that if there is a limitation in any form, it is due to our own mind. The universe designed us and gives us a potential to live through our intuitive knowing, through connection with the source. But when we came on earth, we develop our ego mind, and the source of our reliance becomes our ego mind. And our ego mind is shaped according to what happened to us. It's shaped according to our limitations, sufferings, and plus good things, good experiences of life. However, this ego mind is coming from imperfection, from suffering and limitation. It is built in this process, and that's why it cannot have a transcendental understanding or view about the reality. Also, that's why we say we all see the reality not as it is, we see the reality as we program it to see, as we are programmed to see. So I believe I got this idea that if we can overcome the ego mind and get connected with our divine source, through this connection, we can tune ourselves with the greater program, with the greater harmony. We can find the governor. We can let the governor of our life be the universal self, the universal wisdom, or our higher self. And that's why we could, and in this case, we can live in the ultimate potential. We are dividing ourselves from the source, from that potential life, just because we believe that this ego mind, our self, our man-made self, knows everything better. Right? We are clear about this here? Then I was wondering that how to surrender this ego mind. One of the purpose of the spiritual ideologies is to surrender the ego mind, and fundamentally I believe that we are designed to live ageless. Our body, our DNA has the potential to heal any form of disease, including aging. Aging is a form of disease, nothing else. Aging is a limitation in duplicating cells according to its own blueprint. Our DNA every year, especially every 7 years, it replaces all the cells of our body, and this replacement can continue forever. But the problem is that the DNA listens to our mental consciousness, and when we lose the passion for life, our enthusiasm for life, the DNA start to say, to understand, oh, this means that now is the time for dying. Our DNA is our biological consciousness, and here we have our mental consciousness, we have also our emotional consciousness and energetic consciousness. DNA listens, DNA which is made of consciousness listens to the other state of consciousness and tune its own function according to the level or vibration of other consciousness that we have. Our DNA, our biological consciousness, listens to our mental consciousness, and when in our mental consciousness we are depressed, not motivated for life, when in our emotions, in emotional consciousness we have sadness, when in our energetic consciousness we lost our life force movements, energy, the DNA watch all of them and interprets that this means that now is a time to dying, and now the DNA start to decrease its own function. Many form of disease happens because of to give the excuse to body to start to express the pain that we will have in our mental, emotional, and energetic level. That's why every form of disease has a reason related to our mental, emotional, and energetic state of beingness, materialized, embodied by DNA. So here in my journey of innovating an approach for longevity, I got three paths that need to be followed. Three things. If we develop these three things in our awareness, we will reach to longevity. Our body will not become old, or we will not face aging. The first thing is surrendering the ego mind, overcoming judging good and bad, and become tuned in flow, in oneness with the awareness of life, to live intuitively with the presence of the Shakti, as we talked before, in everything and everywhere, to see the presence of life or Shakti in every form of life and just watch them as it is and have respect for whoever, whatever that appears in our reality, because all of them are made by our divine higher self. So the first thing is to work with our mental consciousness to surrender the ego mind and become one with the awareness of life. The second thing is working with our emotional consciousness, and the greatest form of working with this emotional consciousness is living in love. When we are living in love, the radiation of love affects all the cells of our body, and we live in a greater level of our beingness. Through the love, we generate passion for life. And the third one is to embracing our nature and sexual energy. As long as we have any form of sexual taboos, we could not generate the enough current of sexual energy in our body, and also we could not be able to see the plays and forms of Shakti in everything and everybody. I will talk about this part a little later. So we have a review so far about what we talk. We say that our DNA is like a greatest healing center, that the best healers, the best doctors, the most magical healers, they work in this healing center, and the salary that we need to pay them is enthusiasm for life. All the healers and doctors, the only salary that they need to receive to work well, to keep your body healthy and ageless, is enthusiasm for life. And then we say, to have enthusiasm for life, we need three things. We need to work on three states of our awareness. First, surrender the ego mind to the oneness, to the consciousness of universe or life, to drop judging good and bad in order to be able to celebrate life unconditionally. This will help us to raise our enthusiasm. The second one happens in our emotional consciousness, to live in love, to have the passion of love. Living in love is another important source to create enthusiasm. And the third source is our sexual energy. When we have enough flow of the sexual energy, which is possible through dropping sexual taboos, and is one of the purpose of our practice, two things will happen. First, we say that our sexual energy is the fragrance of Shakti. When we embrace and honor our own sexual energy, we will be able to see the flow, the presence of Shakti in everything and everyone. And the second thing is that this life force energy by itself gives us enthusiasm for life without any reason. When you honor and worship your sexual energy, you will feel that you want to do many things without referring to your logic to understand why. You will find a childlike passion to go and celebrate life, to explore everything, just for a short time even, to celebrate this beingness, this existence. That's why also I say that if we take away all the sexual energy of a person, that person will become depressed. If we give extra sexual flow energy to a depressed person, that person start to run and fly for life without even knowing why. Okay, so is short and simple. Our DNA tune its own function according to the level of our enthusiasm. And to raise our enthusiasm, we need to work with 3 states of our consciousness, with our mental consciousness, emotional consciousness, and energetic consciousness. With the way, in mental consciousness, with the way that we look at the life, we need to learn how to reach to an unconditional acceptance towards everything. Through living in love and embracing our sexual energy. This is my project, and I would like to invite you to watch your self during for 3 years, make a plan and live according to what you are learning here, and I promise, I have this expectation that you will live free from diseases and your body start to become younger. This is the same that happens for my body, and I want to share it with you and with people. This is a lifestyle. What I'm teaching is a tantric, shamanic lifestyle. It follows non-dualism, the ideology of the non-dualism. It follows Brahmanism to understand, is a pattern to understand the presence of Shiva, Shakti, Vishnu in our external reality and in within ourselves, which next session we will talk about this part, about how the Brahmanism can help us to raise the passion of life, enthusiasm for life, and also how Brahmanism can help us to reach to the non-dualism, to reach to the non-dualistic awareness. And this is our program. This is a project for human longevity that follows a very simple pattern. It trusts to our DNA. We don't need to use any medicine, mineral, vitamins, special diet to reach to the longevity. Our DNA already is designed to keep us ageless. The only things that this DNA needs is your enthusiasm for life. Thank you.